Today I received this package. Let's open it. This is brand new Vivo X200 Pro. Mid-range successor to the best camera phone on the planet. I bought 1TB version for $900. It looks very nice. But we see a big difference from the last ones. Here how it looks like with X100 Ultra. Pro model is slightly wider, but more slim. Design is minimal but stylish. I am not a big fan of flat screens and edges, but it feels nice in the hand. It has flat edges now. For the handling, I still like Ultra more. Let's look what inside. Basic case. Film is already pre-installed on the screen. Very nice. I hate when companies disrespect me. For example, I have scratched Google Pixel screen right after unboxing. But camera bump needs a protection also. I have a good leather case in my postal office. Fast gun charger with good thick cable. But why Type A? Let's turn it on. Quick setup. Fingerprint scanner. It is quick and responsive. I suggest to turn off all the trackers. It won't affect anything. And here it is, new Origin OS 5 on Android 15. Feels like home. My favorite phone OS. Almost everything is the same. Very practical and functional. Next thing that I suggest to do, remove all the Chinese apps. It is very simple, just select them and move to a bin. Next, go to the V App Store and search Google Play Store. To select English, press this button with this symbol. And simply download Play Store. It will take some time. While we are waiting, I am using new Vivo Watch 3 with Blue OS. Before I was using Galaxy Watch 4 Classic. Best smartwatches. But they last only 2 days, while Vivo's 2 weeks. But I cannot answer WhatsApp calls and messages. This is not Vivo's problem, but Google's Android. This is topic for another video. Now open Play Store. It will ask you to enable Google services, just press OK. It is that simple. Just log into your Google account. I also suggest to download keyboard of your choice, for example, Google Keyboard. My favorite one is from Yandex. It has lots of features, for example, AI tools that Samsung for some reason advertise as standalone phone features. I turn everything on, also sounds and haptics. Let's check for firmware updates. Whoa! More than 2 gigs already. Some camera fixes and more. Nice! While we are waiting for download, let's check what's new in this system. I love multitasking on this device. Music player. Just press disagree. Press use basic features. Now you won't have any online junk.
Used to be me, holding the key, and I dropped it down, 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 down. Left on the scene, only one here.
Audio is loud, nice, but not so clear. Like 3 out of 5. Ultra is 4 out of 5 for my taste. Wish we have something like from Huawei. Especially on Honor Magic 6 Ultimate, that have the best speakers among all the smartphones. This is what I want to see in Vivo. We'll compare them against each other in galactic battle. Subscribe not to miss it out. Unlocking is top-notch on Vivo. Fingerprint scanner is quick. Let's add a face. Face unlock is very reliable and fast, even in the dim light. Looks like most of the stuff is the same. Tons of customization options. Watch my this video called OS and Camera app. I have a whole UI settings and camera app tour and guide of Origin OS, and other smartphones also. We have brand new feature, Origin Island. It is the same as Magic Capsule on Honor, that was taken by Apple with the Dynamic Island. Now your audio, video and some apps will interact with this area. Hope Ultra model will get some love too. Now let's see camera app. We have new landscape mode. Night, long exposure, SuperMoon, perspective correction, Astro, now in the one tap. Not a big fan of less buttons. Swipe up. Here is Humanistic street photography mode. You can control white balance, shutter speed, EV compensation in this mode. But here is strange part. I see no HDR button. On X100 Ultra we have HDR, while X200 Pro lacks it, which makes this mode unusable for me. Maybe they will bring it in a firmware update? I like that we can control exposure in almost all video modes. You need to enable it in the top settings. Photo mode. Enable all the settings on the top, and now you can control sharpness, contrast, saturation in auto mode with full HDR. By the way, you can turn HDR on and off. It can help in some situations with colors of face and people. And we still have no sharpness controls on selfie. Kinda sad. Vivo, let us control sharpness and other stuff on selfie. Come on. Video modes. The same 8K up to 30 frames per second, 4K resolution up to 120. You can use teleprompter and read your scripts. New feature. We can use log profile in auto video tab. On X100 Ultra you need to go into the Pro video mode, and you can only use main sensor, while on X200 Pro even ultrawide and telephoto. Let's check this new landscape tab. As you can see, now we have long exposure, night mode, supermoon, astrophotography and astrostellarium, architecture and perspective corrector, miniature effect on the same tab. You can place a moon on this city. What a gimmick. Snapshot for fast-moving subjects. Still no ultrawide. X200 Pro feels more snappy and fast. I guess MediaTek processor is more powerful than Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. On video, on selfie, X100 Ultra you can select basic HDR, but for some reason on X200 Pro it only has Dolby Vision HDR. You need to color grade this if you want to use it on a computer. I want basic HDR on all modes, not just selfie. That doesn't require any color grading. Teleprompter. New button. You can edit your videos. And looks like there is less modes if you press more. I guess this is because all of them are right now in the brand new landscape tab. Slow motion and the same disappointment. 4K up to 120, 1080p up to 240 fps and nothing more. It is almost 2025. Where is 2000, 4000 frames per second? Where is pre-capture with buffer? Vivo, do not sleep. Pro mode. Let's select computational Super RAW. It still takes a long time, and you cannot shoot in bursts. Maybe in normal RAW? Nope, still no bursts. Pro video mode. We can select log. X200 Pro can shoot with ultrawide and telephoto now, and you can enable LUT preview. Vivo has the best Pro video mode among all. You have waveforms, audio meters, zebras for exposure and focus picking. To enable them, go to the settings, Pro features and just enable all. I like to turn off noise reduction. Also, I have noticed new feature, Super Telephoto enhancements, above 20x digital zooms on photo. I hope there is nothing drastic and weird like on Oppo's AI models. I have noticed that there is no night video mode on X200 Pro. On X100 Ultra in low light conditions, or if you cover lens with hand, moon button will appear, press it and you will start night video mode. But there is none on X200 Pro. Alright, let's go outside. No more games. Let's find some nice location for testings. Here we will discuss color profiles of these smartphones. Vivo has 3 color profiles. First one, and my favorite, is Vivid color profile. It is default and goes straight out of the box. It gives you vibrant colors, very bright overall image, with nice amount of contrast levels, and image overall looks like 3-dimensional. Second on the left we have Zeiss Natural. It gives you toned down colors, less contrast levels. Image looks slightly more natural. But to tell the truth, I'm not a big fan of this color profile. And the third one, called Textured, I will say that it is something in the middle. But sometimes it can give too dark and over-sharpened image, so I almost never use it. almost in all situations, I use vibrant color profile. I'm not a big fan of these gray colors. If we compare it, for example, versus Huawei Pura 70 Ultra, it has something similar, 3 color profiles. By default it has original, it is similar to the Zeiss Natural on Vivo. In the middle we got vivid color profile, and on the right it is called bright. It looks like something in the middle between Zeiss Natural and vivid color profile on Vivo. But to tell the truth, I enjoy this vibrant more. It is very contrasty, it has this slight 3-dimensional look, while original looks very flat. So we need to decide what to use in the next large photo comparison. You can let me know, tell me what should we use. I feel like I will use this vivid, but maybe bright will be more rational. Let's see the difference between X200 Pro and X100 Ultra. Vivid color profiles on both. The biggest difference between them, X100 Ultra uses 1-inch sensor. On X200 Pro sensor size is smaller. But to tell the truth, this is the least interesting. Focal length 23mm. Everything below 50mm will distort the face. So it's kinda boring. But let's see, are there any drastic differences? And it's hard to tell, but looks like X200 Pro uses more aggressive AI models. Plus we can see less background blur. 1-inch sensor will give you more separation from your background, more natural bokeh. Not like it is night and day difference, but I like Ultra more. Image looks more natural to me. Even the grass looks slightly more defined. Now let's look at the Telephoto module. Both of them are using a very large HP9, 200 megapixels, hardware is identical. I can see that Vivo X200 Pro tries to fight with these harsh highlights. On X100 Ultra, in some situations, you can get overexposure in these very complicated areas. This is all just software problems. I hope we will see some firmware updates, and the Ultra model won't be forgotten. Both of them use Zeiss natural colors right now. Sharpness levels are at 0 right now. For my taste, I would personally bring those down. Maybe minus 33, maybe minus 66. Oh heck, minus 100. So, slight difference here and there, I don't see any drastic difference. Some parts of the skin more oversharpened on Ultra, some on Pro, but plus or minus the same result. On both of them, I would reduce sharpness a little bit. Gladly we can do this on both. Both of them has sharpness slider. We can even see the difference between Zve-10 aps-c sensor. Here how it will look like against Zeiss Natural, and here against Vivid. And Vivid color profile is my favorite on the Ultra. Of course, for the portraits, I would reduce sharpness. Besides 1-inch sensor, one of the downgrades, more tight field of view on ultrawide. On X200 Pro we got 15mm. Looks like it is only 1mm, but look how drastic is the difference. We can fit a lot more on the Ultra. And on Huawei Pura we got 13mm. We can see more of this road, these city lanterns, and more in this area. Difference is huge. So definitely 15mm is a little bit too tight for my taste. I like ultra-wide focal lengths more than on main sensor. 14mm is a lot more fun than 23. Now this is main sensor and textured color profile. It gives you more dark, moody image with lots of textures on surfaces, but sometimes results can be little bit too over-sharpened. Zeiss Natural, main sensors on both. We won't split hairs, more or less everything looks the same. Maybe X200 Pro has better highlight performance, or maybe not. On this part, I see more harsh highlights. Maybe it was addressed in this new X200 Pro. And to my eye, it uses slightly more aggressive processing. Alright, let's now look at all the color profiles, compare it against each other. On the bottom we have Zeiss Natural on both of the Vivo, original on Huawei. In the middle we have vivid color profile on all of them, and on the top will be textured on Vivo and bright on Huawei. You know, I'm not a big fan of the natural color profile on the Huawei. Everything has slight magenta shift, and colors look kinda weird. To my eye, vivid color profile on Huawei looks more like textured on Vivo, and Vivo's vivid color profile looks like bright on Huawei. So it is very hard to track all this down. We will dive in deep in colors in the next video. Right now I just want to get a general idea. So definitely we can see more depth of field on 1-inch sensors on Huawei Ultra. On Pro depth of field is not so noticeable. So definitely I won't use natural color profile on Huawei. We need to choose between vivid and bright. And by the way, to my eye, 1-inch sensor on Ultra looks more natural than on Pro. Our telephoto lenses, the same, Pro, Ultra and Huawei. On the bottom will be Zeiss Natural, vivid in the middle, textured on the Vivo on top and bright on Huawei. In reality, her skin is pale, but slightly yellow. Definitely, natural on Huawei has the most inaccurate colors. I like bright, but contrast levels are just too low for my taste. So I think that I will use vivid colors. Skin colors are more accurate, we have lots of contrast levels. I think that I will choose these colors for the next video, or maybe bright. Tell me what you think about this in the comment section. On the Vivo, I will try to use Zeiss Natural, because in all my videos I used vivid, but vivid color profile is my favorite, and sometimes textured. Another quick shot to represent the colors during daylight. Natural on the bottom, vivid in the middle, on top textured and bright on Huawei. And I feel like we need to swap these two, because vivid looks more like textured on Vivo, and bright looks like vivid. And in this situation I feel like I like textured more. Look at this ground, it's just a lot more well-defined, with more gradients, more textures and more contrast levels. Vivid is kinda too bright. So I feel like you will agree with me that we need to use vivid on Huawei, because contrast levels on bright are just not there, and natural confuses color and white balance a lot. On Vivo, we will play around with Zeiss Natural and with textured.
Vivo X200 Pro. I see no HDR options, only Dolby Vision HDR, but you need to color grade this footage. I am speaking without noise reduction, and I can press this button, vocal enhancement, and now, is there any difference? We have a large construction site, and also people are playing on the instruments. What is the difference? Now I turn this off. We can see something weird on my face. No HDR, but what is the audio quality? And now back again with vocal enhancement. Vivo X100 Ultra without noise reduction, selfie camera. Now I'm pressing a vocal enhancement. Is there any difference? Alright, both Vivos. I am behind the camera. Can we see any noticeable difference? Voice isolation, noise reduction turned on, and now I'm turning it off on Vivo X100 Ultra. Noise reduction is still on the X200 Pro, and I'm turning this off right now. So we can see the construction site. and musician playing in the background. Ultra-wide lens. Now I'm turning on voice isolation on the X100 Ultra. Can it make any difference? Very noisy conditions. And now X200 Pro. It is so loud I can't even hear my own thoughts. And I'm turning on voice isolation. Can it make any difference? Can you hear me right now? All right. Selfie camera. I have HDR on Vivo X100 Ultra and I have voice isolation. Very noisy conditions. Let's now turn off this noise cancellation. I'm moving away from this loud place. I dislike HDR image on X100 Ultra. Something is very wrong with my face. Right. Now let's turn on again noise cancellation on the front facing camera. I will try not to block microphones. And now Vivo X200 Pro. I am turning on noise cancelling and continue to speak into the smartphone. And by the way, let me turn off HDR on X100 Ultra. Actually, I was wrong. HDR was turned off. Right now it is on. But still, my face is not red. Also, I am inside lock profile right now. Vivo X100 Ultra uses Pro mode, Pro video mode, and Vivo X200 Pro can use lock just in normal automatic video tab. Is there any drastic difference with lock profile? Both of them use automatic. Let's use some log profile for this vlog style scenario. Are there any drastic differences between two of them? All right.
Now let's see some low light. This is very tricky situation. Please don't expect artistic nice image. This is just a stress test, benchmark. We have lots of lens flares from this lantern. This lantern was very dim. Face of our model is in the shadow, and in the background we see lots of highlights. This is very harsh situation. Not every smartphone can handle this well. Heck, even mirrorless camera. The purpose of this test is to see at the lens flares. Also we will check colors. Now we are using Honor Magic 6 Ultimate Edition. Here we have natural color profile on all of them. Honor has natural, vibrant and authentic. And I feel like ultrawide lens is not the best choice to look at the difference of the color profiles because of poor performance. Honor, this is truly magical. Now let's quickly look at the differences of this color profile. On the left we have Zeiss Natural, in the middle Vivid, and on the right we have Textured, and for some reason Textured is too dark in the low light. But again, this situation is very harsh. I did not expect this situation to give anything good. This is just a stress test to see lens flare performance, highlights, and extreme shadow noise. And again, pay attention, in all of these photos we have this lens flare on x200 Pro, but nothing criminal, to tell the truth. So the differences between these color profiles are more visible during daylight. In these extreme harsh conditions it is very hard to tell. And almost on all of these shots, on all color profiles, ultra overexpose some highlights. It worries me more than some lens flares. Looks like on this shot it is out of focus, maybe I have a different one. Looks like again another shot is also not in focus, because this textured color profile gives too dark image, and in low light phone can struggle a little bit. Of course, if you tap on the face, you will get normal exposure. Here I just let the smartphone to decide what is the best. Here our HP9 telephoto lens, 85mm equivalent, and looks like both of them has slight level of overexposure. Maybe Vivo was not lying when they told that this new main sensor is slightly better in terms of dynamic range, because I can see visible difference in terms of highlight performance on main sensor, and on telephoto the story is not the same. Here is Sony Zve-10, aps-c large sensor. I can see noise patterns even without zooming in. This camera plus this lens, this is 2.8 Sigma general zoom 18-50. Together it is $1,300. It is more expensive than both of these smartphones. This is the raw file. You need to spend a lot more time in post, playing with these files in photo editing software. And here is Honor Magic 6 Ultimate Edition. By the way, I see better highlight performance, but looks like image is just too overprocessed. This is natural depth of field, not a software fake bokeh. Imagine what we will get with 1 inch on Telephoto. I want to pay more close attention to this textured color profile. Yes, image is dark, but actually it gives very nice contrast levels. Maybe if I play with sharpness levels and exposure compensation, we will get very pleasing results without overexposure on highlight areas. I kinda enjoy this textured color profile. Definitely I will play around more with it. What do you think, my friends? Please leave a comment. Also, I want to check this SuperMoon Mode. Vivo has this new landscape mode. They combined, for some reason, night mode, panorama, supermoon, astrophotography, Zeiss architecture and perspective correction, miniature effect. So, bunch of different modes. They are now all in this landscape. To tell the truth, I'm not a big fan of this. It is the same as on modern cars. For some reason, manufacturers move all the physical buttons on these screens on the infotainment system. And this is just stupid. Everything is on this touch screen. It becomes almost impossible to operate it during high speed. And voice commands are not a solution. What if someone already talks in your car? What if someone called you via Bluetooth? So definitely this is a topic for another video. We're not talking about cars here, but you get the idea. We get less physical buttons, less physical controls. Sometimes you need to go to menu, to submenu, to another submenu. And I just want a freaking physical button. But here we already have everything virtually. So I'm not totally get it. I have zero problems with SuperMoon Mode and Night Mode on Ultra, while on Pro I need to rely on automatic system of the smartphone. So it is what it is. I want the control over my device, and I want to pick and choose what to use manually. And here I feel like right now Vivo Ultra does a better job in terms of this edge. It is too harsh on the Pro model. Now let's test another example. Extreme low light conditions with dim, atrocious city lights. Looks like Honor tries to fight for the white balance. And we see no weird lens flares on Pro model of Vivo. So definitely it is not a big problem, especially if you position yourself right. Not much to talk about here, but I feel like texture of the lips are more accurate on the Ultra model. In reality, it was exactly like this. About depth of field. Size of the sensor contributes in this factor more. We can see more well-defined bokeh, background is more separated, more blurred, but difference is not so drastic, because we have slightly better aperture. But definitely, those balls are bigger. That's why I recommend full frame over aps-c on the mirrorless cameras. You can easily get a lot better blur performance. And texture of this leather and clothes. Not an obvious and easy choice, but I feel like Ultra does better job. But not like by a mile. Second telephoto, results should be almost identical. Let's compare it against Honor's 2.5x. This telephoto sensor is also very large, almost the same as HP9 on Vivo, but because of more wide focal length, something around 60mm 2.5x, we'll get less depth of field. And definitely feels like x200 Pro is a little bit more aggressive in terms of computation. It looks more well-defined, but more processed, while on Ultra, it's slightly more organic. But we need to zoom in a lot to see these differences. And on x200 Pro, we can lower the sharpness levels easily. By the way, this sharpness slider directly affects this AI upscaling. So if you don't like that Vivo draws all these details, just move the sharpness slider down, and you will get more organic image. It all depends on this sharpness slider. Also, where I have noticed the biggest difference was a fake retouching and facial reconstruction inside the portrait mode. Here we are using 2x digital crop on main sensor, and looks like Ultra model has better representation of face in these low light conditions. We can see that face look more organic, more natural representation of the skin, small hairs, eyelashes, texture on the lips, while on Pro model everything looks too artificial, too plastic. Also we have some weird dots on the texture of the skin. I'm not a big fan in this situation, while on Ultra it always gives you nice results. In low light, during the day, We will test more in the next video. Here it is more extreme 10x zoom, but I kinda see no difference at all. It is not surprising, because this is the same hardware. To me, everything looks identical, even these overexposed parts. So I feel like you will get the same experience as on Ultra, the best telephoto sensor on the smartphone market right now. Extreme low light, ultra-wide lens, we are able to capture a lot more. With 14mm on Ultra, only 1mm difference, but it is so drastic. We can capture this part of the column, more trees, here, these beams, this metal part. So I'm not a big fan of this ultra-wide lens. 14mm is the maximum that I will agree to have on the ultra-wide end. But maybe image is more well-defined on Pro model. However, it is a bummer that it is not that wide. Definitely Pro model is a lot more well-defined. And let's see performance of main sensor. Especially, I want to know these highlight parts. On Ultra sometimes we have overexposure. Without zooming in, looks like Pro is slightly better in this regard. But I feel like I like contrast levels a lot more on Ultra. Image looks more three-dimensional. So definitely we can see some improvements. Look at this part. On Ultra it is almost pure white, but not like the difference is drastic. Even using a large aps-c sensor on mirrorless camera from Sony won't help you with highlight. And even without zooming in, we can see tons of noise. So we have the same overexposure here. It is even worse than on Ultra. Crazy stuff. This is smartphone, this is very large aps-c sensor. And this is why I love Ultra. Look at this part. These bricks looks like they are sticking out of the screen. Image has 3D pop, it is three-dimensional. Also, textures here are more well-defined. So, maybe in part like this, X200 Pro has more details. I guess maybe it is because of depth of field. 1-inch sensor is physically larger. Maybe something has to do with computation. Maybe it is just a focusing point. But overall, I can't pick the winner between them. I feel like it is a tie. Maybe I like contrast levels a little bit more on Ultra, but definitely modern recycled abomination from Sony is the last place. And on the telephoto lenses, I don't see any difference in terms of overexposure. Looks like everything is identical. Maybe slight difference here and there, but highlight performance is the same. Next shot looks like even ISO performance is almost identical. Let's zoom in slightly. Almost no difference. I cannot see anything drastic here. Another example, second telephoto. Let's test the sculpture. Also let's see at results of the Honor, of its large telephoto module and mirrorless camera. And who would guess? Image is drawn in noise on this Zve-10. ISO is only 2000. Unbelievable. And without more zooms, looks like Honor is very weak. Sadly, this is my wife's favorite phone right now. To tell the truth, she does not care at all about photography. She is pleased with the results, but I kinda not. Without more zooms, looks like Pro model and Ultra are identical. So, tell me what you think, my friends. Looks like Vivo wins. Both of them. Now let's test little bit more extreme zoom levels. This is the last section, 10x digital crop, and we can see that without zooming in, maybe X200 Pro is slightly more well-defined, but feels like it applies more aggressive computation here. To tell the truth, I'm not a big fan of it. The example is Oppo Find X7 Ultra. I loved this smartphone, and after a couple of firmware updates, it started to use very aggressive AI models on the second telephoto lens. It deformed the image so much that it was almost unusable in some situations. But of course it is nothing like this, because I love that despite being a little bit soft, Vivo almost always represents reality, real details and real textures that exist in real life. But of course looks like there is nothing criminal here. Image still looks very natural, not like on Honor. And here I wanted to test out this new Super Telephoto enhancement. Above 20x it enhances the photo, but to tell the truth, in this particular scenario, I don't see any difference. All the parameters are the same and image overall looks the same. So maybe we need to try another example. I saw the big difference in this example, but this is not 20x and above. This is only 10x. Maybe it has something to do with focusing. I don't know. Maybe it is new computation, but image on Pro looks more well-defined. Especially it is noticeable on this part. Some people say that after the last firmware, Vivo degraded image quality on Ultra, but I feel like it is not. Maybe it is just this situation. Definitely we will test a lot more in the next video, but I kinda want to wait till the firmware update, because the smartphone is new. Maybe Vivo can bring some fixes on Ultra also.
Vivo X200 Pro, selfie camera at night. Right now I don't have noise reduction. I am pressing right now. Did you notice anything? Is my voice too muffled? Did it actually remove some noise? And now no noise reduction for audio. Vivo X100 Ultra selfie camera, low light conditions, no HDR and no noise reduction for audio. And right now, please pay attention, I am turning on noise reduction. Is my voice too muffled? Does it have any clarity? Or it sounds too bad? And now without noise reduction for audio. Let me try to turn on HDR, because on X100 Ultra for some reason it has HDR only on selfie camera. On other lenses it has Dolby Vision HDR, but you need to color grade it, while just normal HDR footage, it is ready straight out of the box. And now we have HDR on, we can actually see these columns, but image became too noisy. I feel like no need to turn it at night. Now we are using selfie camera. For some reason X200 Pro is brighter than Ultra. Do you see any drastic difference in video, in audio? Right now I'm speaking into X200 Pro. What is the audio quality? And now X100 Ultra. Can you notice any difference in audio? Actually, both of these phones have exposure compensation slider. I turned to the max the slider on X100 Ultra. Maybe it can make a difference, but I feel like, again, X200 Pro is brighter right now on the screen. Maybe it is unusable and noisier. By the way, let me increase exposure compensation on X200 Pro also, and I feel like image became almost unusable, or maybe not. Who knows? Tell me what you think, what you feel, my friends. Now we're filming at main sensors. What is the stabilization and audio quality? Now I am behind cameras. Is my voice loud, clear, crisp? Now let me walk a little bit more intense. If I remember correctly, on X200 Pro we have 24 FPS at night, while on X100 Ultra there is night video mode. Maybe it is the same settings. Let me right now switch to night mode on X100 Ultra, and what we can see. Here, look, on X200 Pro we can easily get these lens flares. Kinda distracting. What a bummer. And by the way, we can easily switch lenses. 10x on X200 Pro, and looks like everything is kinda smooth. And on X100 Ultra we get very nice image, but in this night video mode we only have 1x and 2x. Let me switch from this mode. Now we in normal video mode without any night settings. And we can switch the same way. I rechecked, we have the same 24 FPS, auto low light, both on X200 Pro, X100 Ultra, so everything should be the same. Let's see some telephoto. Looks like we have better image on X200 Pro right now, and I believe this is just a software, because hardware on this telephoto is identical, Samsung's HP9, but on X200 Pro we have this foliage, and on X100 Ultra there is nothing over there. I kinda want them to fix this as soon as possible. And can we vlog with these smartphones on main sensors? 1 inch on the X100 Ultra and smaller one, but more bright aperture on X200 Pro. Let me switch X100 Ultra to night video mode. For some reason X200 Pro does not have this mode. And now we have night video mode on X100 Ultra and the same basic mode on Pro. Can you see the drastic difference? Also, let me try video log. On X200 Pro it is baked just in automatic mode. You just press a button and get logarithmic footage. And on X100 Ultra you need to go into video pro mode. Everything is on automatic. Is there any drastic difference between them? By the way, you can go to 2x, 1x on X100 Ultra. On X200 Pro you can switch any lenses, but if you stop recording right now, you can film even in ultrawide and telephoto. While on Ultra there is no such option, only 1x and 2x digital crop. So pretty cool. So my friends, please tell me what you think. There will be large photo video comparison. We will go in depth. We will look Add the color profiles, add the raw photography, fast moving subjects. It will be Star Phones episode 3. Please leave a comment what you want to see in terms of photo and video. Maybe there is something specific that you want to see from these two smartphones. We will also compare them with Huawei, Honor maybe, I don't know. I'm not very impressed by the Huawei. I kinda like Honor very much. Right now we are in the basic automatic photo mode. So right now I'm walking pretty fast, not accurate at all. What is the stabilization? Night video mode. I turned it on VIvo right now. And let me check. Can we switch all the lenses? Ultrawide. Of course telephoto. But can we switch to the selfie? Yes, we can. And let me, for the last time, press noise reduction for audio. Vivo X100 Ultra. I am pressing noise reduction. Can you hear the difference? I like that there is a button. I like to turn it on if I am in a quiet room without extra noise, but sometimes on the nature I want it to be off because audio will be a lot crisper. We have some light leaks on X200 Pro. By the way, let me press noise reduction for audio right now on X200 Pro. So that's all, my friends. Of course, there will be a lot more. Tell me what you want to see from these smartphones. Freaking unbelievable. 9 o'clock night. How the hell I am supposed to make this video? I need to stop after each word to wait after these freaks finish it. They are doing this for 6 hours already. I'm so tired of these cities.